Good morning, kingdom blessings, everyone. As y'all can see, I'm in Big Blue. I got time this morning. I am still at the hospital. We have not been discharged yet, but we're on our way. To all my new subscribers, y'all are doing the dang thing. Y'all are doing it for me. And all my day ones, y'all know I love y'all. But I want to talk about this topic this morning about landlords are people too. Landlords do not have to keep you. And landlords are putting you out. Landlords are putting you out. Landlords are getting eviction notices. Landlords are setting your stuff on the curb. Landlords were taking you to court and actually getting the sheriff to come and lock the doors and put you and your belongings out on the street. This is happening. I was just inside the hospital and I was talking to a young lady who that just happened to her, and now she don't understand how she can be homeless and with nowhere to go when you were given a 90-day notice. A 90-day notice to me is very generous for somebody to give you a 90-day notice and you have to leave their property. But what a lot of you do not understand is landlords are people too. Landlords also have mortgages they got to pay on these properties. Landlords also have they have to pay taxes on these properties. Landlords are people too. Landlords are going through life too. Life is not just moving around and lifing for you, it's lifing for them as well. They may not even want it to put you out, but they got bills to pay. They got deadlines that they got to meet also, or they'll have bill collectors calling them. And when they're putting these properties up for sale, it's because either they're tired of being landlords, they may be tired of paying the taxes may have been going up, they may be having a longer commute to get there, and the fixing of these properties may be outweighing the good, and their age might be up. You don't know the reasons why, and they don't have to give you a reason why. Landlords are putting you out and putting you and your stuff out on the street because they are trying to navigate their own life, their own finances, take care of their own families, trying to make sure that their life is good in the midst of this recession and inflation like everybody else. So don't think just because they are your landlord, they got to keep you, or they are responsible for you and your well-being. And it's not their problem. Let's just call a thing a thing. It is not their problem where you go after they've given you your 90-day notice. Your time there is up. It's just for you to get up and start moving and being responsible and figuring out where your next is going to be, because they're doing what's best for them. And this is what a lot of people do not understand. They take it so personal when the landlords start to evict you and start to tell you got a 90-day notice. Then you get in your feelings, then you get an attitude, then you say the landlord wasn't no good, but the landlord was good all the way up until now. They have to do what they have to do to sustain their life. Now you act as though you're now not their tenant, but you're their child, and they're responsible for where you go. They're responsible for how you live. They're supposed to be upset because you're telling them that you're going to be homeless, and that is not their business, nor is that their problem. It's you got to get up and figure out where you're gonna go. You got to figure out how far your dollar can take you from that spot to your next spot. You got to start contacting people, contacting other landlords, contacting family members, contact who you can contact to get yourself out of their unit when they've given you 90 days to move. I come to uplift, motivate, and inspire you today to let you know this is what grown people do. Grown people take on responsibility. They don't make excuses. You make things happen. You thank them for the time that they allowed you to be in their unit. They don't have to go down that rabbit hole explaining to you how their life has taken a turn or why they're getting ready to do what they're getting ready to do. And so there could be a way that you might could buy that unit. Now you become the landlord of that unit. You make sure your credit is right. This is where responsibility comes in. You go seek the bank. If they told you it's going to go up for sale, you go seek the bank and see if you can buy it and stay where you are. You might be able to buy that very same unit, but you got to do the footwork. You got to do the paperwork. It's not the landlord's responsibility to walk you through nothing. If they do, great, but it's not their responsibility. You cannot act like you got this overwhelming sense of entitlement that a landlord is supposed to carry you and figure out where you're going when they ask you to leave their place that they did not even ask you to come to. They were nice enough to accept you. They were nice enough to give you a nice place to live and take care of the place for you because it's theirs, and they made sure you were safe and you were well taken care of. Now something has happened. Now they either want to sell the place, they either want to just renovate the place, whatever they want to do that they want you out of it, and they give you that ample time, that's all they have to give you. They do not have to give you their whole life history of why they want to renovate, why you're renovating this time, when can I come back, am I able to come back? Those are questions you can ask, but when your answer is no, and they don't know, and they don't understand yet how their life is going to go, or maybe they do and they may feel like it's not your business, they just want you out 90 days. Let me renovate my property. Let me see if I want to raise the rent on it, what the renovations might cost. I may want to go up on the property. I may want to sell the property. I just may want to keep the property empty for a while and look at it. That's my prerogative. And as a landlord, I do not have to explain to you as a tenant why my life has taken a turn, or why I choose to make the decisions that I'm making as a responsible adult who bought the place, as a responsible adult who made sure my credit was good so I could afford the place, as the responsible adult that answered your call every time you needed maintenance and made sure you were safe and asked you did you love the place, and you've been there 4 years, but now something else has taken place. Expect change when you start living under somebody else's rules and regulations or in somebody else's unit. That unit does not belong to you just because you rented it. You are a renter. You are a renter. It's no different if you rented somebody's lot and you put a mobile home there, you still rented that lot. If they wanted you to leave that place, you still would have to go. So think about these things when y'all out there renting. Think about these things when you're out here wasting your money buying cars and wigs and shoes and nails and suits and trying to go out to eat at the 5-star restaurant and trying to live the glamorous life. Think about the fact that you don't own nothing and you don't own where you live, and at any given time, you could be given an eviction notice. And you ain't got to have done nothing. It's just the fact that they're reclaiming their property. That is their property. I need my property in 90 days. I could be wanting to put my sister in it. I could be wanting to put my brother in it. I could be wanting to put cousins, family, whoever in it. That's my business because it's my place. All I need for you to do is to pack your stuff and be out of it in 90 days and be gone. But don't start asking me where am I going to go, or think you're going to weigh on me that I'm going to be homeless, or I'm treating you wrong. I'm treating you this way, that way, that way. Don't try to guilt trip. Yeah, I'm going to say it again. Don't try to guilt trip the landlords into staying where you're not wanted. They've told you they need their place. They're giving you a beautiful 90-day notice. Some of them give you 60 to vacate the premises. That's your time. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you for letting me stay this long. Now you get on the phone and you start figuring out where you're going to go. At the end of that 90 days, your job is just to make sure you're ready for that walkthrough and make sure that the landlord's place is left like you left it, like he left it. Don't be getting grudgeful and start damaging his place because he asked for his place back. Leave his place in good standards. Leave your account in good standards as far as your payment, that you may be able to rent something somewhere else, and that bad credit that you might try to leave because you're upset because you have to leave this man or this woman's place, and now you start damaging this property. Now you start withholding your last month's rent. You don't want to do what you need to do because he done gave you 60, 90 days. That 90 days don't mean you live there for free. That 90 days, you still got to pay your rent. That 90 days means he's still collecting his rent on the first of the month like he always has. But a lot of y'all, when you get your notice, then you feel as though that's your cue to stop paying, period. That's your cue to say, I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to clean up no more. I'm not going to do nothing in this place. And I don't care if it fall apart from this point. If something is damaged, if water start leaking, I'm not going to report it. I'm not going to do anything, because now you're taking on a grudgeful spirit because of something that you do not own, and because somebody wants to reclaim their own property. That is their property. They worked hard for that. They made sure their credit was right for that. I'm sure there's a lot of sacrifices that go into buying your own property that y'all don't know nothing about when you're not a homeowner. You have to become a homeowner, then you'll understand exactly what homeowners go through, what landlords go through if you want to become a landlord, when they're dealing with the public and they're dealing with all different kinds of people and all different kinds of attitudes, and they're dealing with people that don't want to obey the rules and regulations of that unit. Yes, that unit has rules and regulations. If they say don't put no dog in it, don't put no dog in it. If they charge you $200 extra on the rent because you put that dog in it, just pay your $200 because you know that then the lease it said there was no dog, no pets, no extra people, no nothing. You cannot rent somebody's place either and put your whole family in it just because you rented it. You do not own it. You are renting that place, and maybe they don't want but 2 people in their unit at a time because that would keep the unit clean, keep it from being destroyed, keep it from being tore up, keep it from the wear and tear and the damage on it. Y'all don't understand that sometimes even with sewage, when you rent a private place and you put 4 and 5 6 people in a place that the landlord's thinking there's only going to be 2, and they got a septic tank, do you not know how much wear and tear you're putting on that man's septic tank, how much sewage is going in that septic tank, how much water is being ran through that unit unnecessary? Y'all don't understand the reasons why and the reasons behind, because of the fact that maybe you have never been a homeowner and you don't understand the rules and regulations that a person got to go through. And when you're renting other people's places, sometimes people, when they rent, they just do not care. But I come to tell you on this morning, the landlords are not responsible for where you go. They're not responsible for taking on your conversation about how I'm going to be homeless and now you're putting me out and now why I'm paying my rent on time. I've never been late. He never said none of that. They never say none of that. Now, I'm not talking about all people or all landlords. I'm talking about situations that I have heard and situations that people have told me they have been in and that I have witnessed over the years. And I think it needs to be said that we as people need to understand what it means to rent. When you're renting, you're taking on a dwelling that belongs to someone else. That someone else has the right to give you a notice to leave that dwelling, and that is there as long as they give you proper notice. From my understanding, you just supposed to move out in that 90 days or that 60 days that they have given you. They don't have to have no other reason why. They don't have to give you no reason why. They got their own reasons why, and that's all it is, because they can make decisions for the place because the place belongs to them. Now, if I'm wrong, landlords, please tap in. If you've been in these situations where you have gone through this with some tenants, please tap in. And tenants, if and so you're out here and you feel that that's wrong and you feel like them laws, there should be a law against this and there should be a law against landlords putting you out after 90 days, 60 days, giving you a notice with they don't give you no reason why. They just want their unit and you think that that's wrong. Give your feedback, because right now I'm just asking for a conversation because people have been talking to me about this, been talking to me about how they're getting put out right now in this season, in the midst of this recession. People tenants are asking people to leave, and some of them are asking you to leave in 90 days because they are raising the rent. They are raising the rent on these units. Why? Because first of all, because they can. Second of all, because the taxes are going up. Third of all, is because they got to keep up with this down economy as well, because they also got bills to pay. Landlords are people too. Landlords are going through what you're going through. Landlords still have a job. A lot of them still are working as they're renting. These rental properties that they have out here, or most of them, is their source of income. That's how they're paying their bills. And when you don't pay, or you're not paying enough to keep up, and the inflation and the amount of cost of everything is steady going up, of course they have to raise the price of these units. It's just a known fact. It's a given. They have to go up. They have to go up in order for that family to be able to eat. Now, y'all know everybody's worried about how their family's going to make it in this dying economy. Everybody's worrying about how they're going to eat. They're worrying about they're going to have a job today or tomorrow. They're worrying about F and so they're going to be able to make it from one day to the next. So because of that, landlords are people too. Landlords have the same problems, the same concerns, the same ambitions that we all have. They're going through. They have families, they have kids, they have wives and husbands. They are people too. They go through the same thing. So their mind is already on the same situation. Matter of fact, they probably were thinking about it before this even hit, because they became landlords. They were looking for a way to help balance their income. They were looking for a way so that their family would be able to eat and they would have an extra income coming in. But it does not come easy. It comes with a price, because they too have to deal with attitudes of different people. They have to deal with the maintenance of these places. They have to deal with the taxes. They have to deal with the inflation, the recession. They got to deal with a lot of things when it comes to them dealing with their property. They got to deal with the bank and all kinds of things, and they had to sacrifice to keep their credit in great standards so that they would be able to afford to be able to buy that unit. So I just want to say, where it comes down to that, you got to walk in their shoes. Take a walk in their shoes. Start working on cleaning up your credit if you need your credit cleaned up for you to be able to buy something of your own. And then maybe one day you might wake up and say, oh, wow, I'm sorry how I treated that landlord. I'm sorry that I was such a nasty tenant. I'm sorry that I went through and started fussing and fighting with them about that, because now I'm a landlord. Now I'm getting the backlash of it. Now I'm having people tell me that they ain't got nowhere to go, trying to make me feel bad and feel guilty because I need my place so I can clean it up, or I can renovate it, or I can raise the rent on it, or I can just put family members in it. I just need my place. And when people need their place, they need their place. That is their place. If he rented it out or she rented it out for X amount of years, that might be the limit of what they needed to rent it out to get them what they need to pay their bill off, or to pay the place off, or to pay off another bill. You don't know, and it's not your business, nor is it their business where you go when they tell you they need their place in 90 days and they give you that eviction notice and they ask you to leave. All you're supposed to do at that time is begin to pack your stuff. Thank them for the time that they've been there. And if I'm wrong, somebody tap in. If you feel differently, somebody tap in. Drop it in the comments down below. Let's get a conversation started, because from my understanding, landlords are people too. Landlords go through life as well as we go through life. Landlords got to eat. Landlords got the same bills, the same responsibility, the same car notes, the same house payments, the same house bills. They got the same insurances that we all got. And so if we're all struggling and we all in this world together, then the landlords are also going through some stuff as well. They go through stuff just like we go through stuff. So we can't sit here and act like because they're landlords and we start preying on the fact that, oh, they must got some money because they landlords. How can they be suffering? They landlords. They getting paid. People are bringing them money and this, that, and other thing. We can't do that. We got to cut that out. We got to stop assuming that type of stuff. So with that being said, I just want to let y'all know that it's time for us to start thinking about somebody besides ourselves. Because that's very selfish for you to think that you got bills and you got responsibilities and you got all this stuff on you, but you don't realize the next person got the same bills, the same responsibility. We've grown out here in these streets, so therefore we all got the same bills, the same responsibilities. We got things we got to look after. We got life, and we got things we got to buy. We got clothes we got to buy to keep on our backs, on our kids' backs. I mean, it's just life, just in general. We got things to do. So that's my spill on that. The landlords are people too, and I pray that this message will help somebody out there begin to move differently and begin to understand that they got to protect their interests as well. So if you stayed here this long, please consider subscribing to the channel. It would really truly help the channel a whole lot, because we're on the road to 10K over here and we're trying to get this channel moving. And effing so you are not turn your notification bells on. Turn your notification bells on so you'll be notified when I drop my next video. And let me see what else. I want to make sure that I give you everything. We do have a thanks button on this video, so I am monetized. So if you want to send us a couple coins to help the ministry, please do so. And I just love y'all, and I want y'all to be okay. So I wanted to make sure that I took time to make this video, because the sister was talking about the fact of, you know, landlords and how landlords do things and how landlords are moving out here in these streets and how things are happening and how the American people are suffering, how we're all, you know, going through, and people out on the street, and the landlords, they think that the landlords are being mean, but they're not being mean. They're doing what they got to do to protect their family. They're doing what they got to do to eat as well. They're doing what they got to do to live in this season and live in the midst of this storm just like anybody else, because landlords are people too. And because landlords are people too, we got to understand that there's going to be some things that we may not understand that we're going to go through. And so as we begin to try to have some understanding, some love and compassion for somebody else, y'all just do what y'all can, do the best y'all can. Let me show y'all where I'm at here. As y'all can see, I'm in the parking lot. I'm in the parking lot of the hospital. It's early. It's about 6:30 in the morning. I had to come out here and get me a different parking spot, y'all, because I had to park way out there somewhere. And so now I've moved closer to the building. So now I'm up here closer to the building up here. So we will be leaving here. Prayerfully, they will be checking us out this afternoon when the doctors make their rounds, somewhere probably around, I'm thinking maybe around 11 or something like that, I'm hoping. So I just wanted to have time to come out and make that video and pray that it will help somebody, bless somebody. And I think that's about it. That's all I have this morning. I love y'all. When I get home and get settled and get my son situated, we will be back on these lines. We will get these lines fired up and we will be ready to go. All right. I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Let me think for 1 second. Is there anything else? I hear the ambulance moving already, y'all. Y'all keep people in prayer. That's another thing. Before I go, y'all make sure that y'all take the time to pray for your family. Pray for your loved ones. Let them know that you love them. Make some phone calls. If you can squash some family squabbles, please squash them at this time, because family needs family right now. Right now, you need your family. You might not think so, but every day that goes by, there's something different happening. There's some more strange stuff that's going to be happening, and it looks strange. It feels strange because it is strange. But I want to let you know that God is still good, and God is with us, and we know that God would not leave us nor forsake us. So I'm gonna be praying for my family. I'm praying they're praying for me, and y'all pray for y'all family. Make sure y'all love on them kids too while they're home during the summer. All right, y'all be blessed. Talk to you soon.